a floating fortress in the sea, impenetrable, untouchable, an arrogant city defying the greatest military genius the world had ever seen. What does Alexander the Great do? He builds a road through the ocean and takes it by force. This is the story of one of history's boldest sieges, a feat of impossible engineering, relentless will, and sheer military brilliance. Welcome to the Archivist's desk, where we uncover the greatest stories lost in the pages of history. In this episode, we're heading back to 332 BCE, to a coastal city that dared to defy a man who conquered empires before he turned 30. The Siege of Tyre wasn't just a battle, it was a message, one that said, "No one is beyond my reach." After defeating the Persian army at the Battle of Issus, Alexander pushed south along the coast of Phoenicia. His goal? Total control of the eastern Mediterranean. Most Phoenician cities surrendered. Sidon, Byblos, and others submitted without a fight. But Tyre? Tyre refused. And for good reason. Tyre was the jewel of Phoenicia, a wealthy, powerful island city about 800 meters off the coast. It had thick, towering walls rising straight from the sea, a well-trained navy, and a long legacy of resisting empires. Why did Alexander need Tyre? Because it still housed a Persian fleet. As long as Tyre stood, Persia could strike back from the sea, and Alexander could not risk having enemies at his back. He sent envoys with a demand. Let him enter the city and offer sacrifice at the temple of Melkart, the Phoenician version of Heracles, whom Alexander worshipped. Tyre's response? A polite but firm no. They said he could make offerings on the mainland, but he would not step foot on their sacred island. That was it. The line was drawn. Alexander wasn't the kind of man to take no for an answer. If Tyre wouldn't let him in, he'd build a way in. His engineers began constructing a causeway, a giant land bridge stretching from the mainland to the island. Using stone, timber, and rubble from the old city of Tyre on the coast, they started dumping materials into the shallow sea. At first it went smoothly, but as the causeway grew and reached deeper waters, the Tyrians fought back, hard. From the safety of their walls, they launched arrows, hurled stones, and sent ships to burn the construction. They deployed fire ships, vessels filled with flammable materials, set ablaze and rammed into Alexander's siege towers. The Macedonians responded by building mobile siege towers on the causeway, massive wooden structures equipped with catapults, archers, and even flamethrowers. Yes, ancient flamethrowers, tubes filled with burning pitch and sulfur. Tyre countered again by sending divers underwater to dismantle the foundations. It was a battle of creativity and endurance. Alexander realized he couldn't win without controlling the sea. So Alexander adapted. He gathered ships from his allies, Sidon, Arwad, Byblos, and Cyprus, building a fleet of over 200 warships. With this new navy, he surrounded Tyre from all sides, cutting off supplies and breaking their dominance at sea. Using ships modified to carry battering rams and siege towers, he coordinated both a naval blockade and simultaneous assaults from the causeway. Day after day, week after week, Alexander's forces bombarded Tyre's sea walls. But Tyre held on, fiercely. The defenders launched desperate counterattacks, killed prisoners on the walls, and refused every offer to surrender. After 7 brutal months, Alexander spotted a weakness in the southern wall. His engineers focused firepower there. On the day of the assault, his navy attacked from all sides, drawing Tyrian defenders away. Then, using storming ladders and siege towers, Macedonian troops breached the weakened wall. Chaos followed. Fighting spilled into the city. Streets became battlegrounds. Alexander's troops, enraged by the long resistance and heavy losses, massacred thousands. Some accounts say over 6,000 Tyrians were killed and 30,000 were enslaved. The Siege of Tyre is remembered not just for its brutality, but for the sheer audacity of Alexander's plan. Most generals would have turned away. But Alexander changed the geography of the coastline to win. His causeway, over time, altered the currents and sediment around Tyre. Today, Tyre is no longer an island. It's connected to the mainland by the very land bridge Alexander built over 2,300 years ago. The siege proved something else, that Alexander was more than just a battlefield commander. He was a master of logistics, engineering, and psychological warfare. Alexander's victory at Tyre wasn't just about winning a battle, it was about sending a message. No city, no fortress, no island is beyond my reach. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most daring sieges, subscribe for more epic war stories and ancient legends. What do you think? Was Tyre's defiance brave or foolish? Let us know in the comments.